Hello, it's Simone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my 12 days of inks. Yesterday, I showed you what I loved in May of 2023, and I have to say that when I put this ink in here, even though it's just a regular boring blue, I loved this experience. So I'm glad I was able to revisit this one more time. I was a little bit lazy here because I thought it wouldn't fit. So I only did the bleu in the big bold letters. But look at the color that came out of here. I feel like there's a little bit of purple. It looked a bit tealish as well, or turquoise. And I just really loved this experience. So I'm very glad I filled this Platinum 3776 with a broad nib with this ink, especially since I think in September when I did 30 inks, 30 days, and also in December when I did the Inkvent calendar and I filled a fountain pen every day until December 25th, of course, I did not have the greatest experience with my Platinum 3776s, and I wondered if they were actually the right pens for me. But now that I had the Urban in here, I feel like, yeah, maybe I just need to, maybe they're not as easy to handle, but maybe I just need to look a little bit longer and stronger. And here, this Suraquan tea green, you can see in the writing it is a very dark olive green base, but it's so dark, and the black sheen, I think it's black, maybe brown sheen on it, and then Dominant Industry Earl Grey tea. I don't really need to say anything about this ink because it's just fabulous. Let's move on to June. So for June and for July, because if you hadn't guessed, I actually did a lot of work previously and picked out inks and pulled out all my fountain pens, put them in this case, so I didn't have to start all over every day. For June and July, I only have two favorite inks. There's several reasons for this. Some of these I just don't have anymore. Even if I liked them enough to show you here, I don't have them in my possession, maybe because the sample was empty or I passed them along. And so there's nothing to show off. And that basically is it, I believe. I did in June, or in May, because I moved in June, I started out with having, I think that's what my intention was, wasn't it? I think I decided I'm inking up those pens in May, and then I'm just keeping them all the way through to the end of June. Wow, I'm tired. I just got back from work. And for some reason, June 2nd, I had a lot of time to film, and I also did do some experimentation and inked up some other pens. So I wanted to show them to you, but I don't have any of these inks left besides. Like, for instance, I would pick the Robert Oster Morning Mist, but I have used that sample up. I would also show you the Diamine Inkvent Festive Joy. I have sold that sample since then. I know that I don't have any more of the Hotarubi, which did not make it, but I wouldn't even be able to show it to you if it was my favorite. So the two inks that I picked because I had put aside the two Urban inks because they were so boring, and I needed to rescind that. So Bleu de Profondeur was inked here, and Rouge Grenat was also such a an enjoyable ink to use that I'm sitting here debating whether I should add both of those to my ink bottle hoarding problem. And the other color is, of course, a bottle that I purchased because I loved it so much. Pelikan Edelstein Apatite. And I don't know why these ink bottles, they look nice, but it's kind of ridiculous how much glass there is and how little ink is inside here. Well, so let us start with this. And then I am using these pipettes again. I shouldn't put my hand oils on here though. And I'm not disappointed because I think there is not many books that or papers that will hold up to this amount of ink. But I am kind of bummed that there is so much ghosting, almost bleed through on this paper. So I need to, and I have 300 pages of this to go through. Okay, Pelikan. The pen that I'm using here is a Pilot Iro Utsushi. Can you see that? Yeah, now you can. That is a dip nib, and the nib is a Pilot medium nib. And then Edelstein. I just thought because the Apatite, this paper makes some of the nibs feel much bolder, and so I didn't want to come here with my brass nib and put down a really super thick line. And now this one, Rouge Grenat. Because this video is rather short, would you like to see how I do the big letters? Edelstein Apatite. Okay, maybe I'll just write Apatite. That's not that long. I could do that, but oh, what is wrong? If you've been watching my channel for a while and you've been watching me swatch my inks, I sometimes say that I don't like inks because they have a green undertone. This one has a weird undertone right now. I did not experience that with the ink when it was in a pen. So I'm curious if this is just happening on the, what's this paper? Ugh, I can't. Cosmo Airlight paper. There we go. And because we're chatting, no, I'm actually thinking about that just now. I just came back from work. Rouge Grenat. And at work, I am able to listen to audiobooks or podcasts or something. Use my headphones and listen to stuff. And I've started to listen to audiobooks. So basically 99.9% of my reading is done listening to audiobooks at the moment. Before I continue my story, I filled this pen after I purchased it with Pelikan Edelstein Apatite, and I think I used it in May, June, and I'm not sure if I still had it inked in July, May. July, the end of July, And then in August, I think I emptied it out. And no, it wasn't so bad that I kept one cartridge or one converter filling all the way. I actually went and refilled this pen with this ink because I enjoyed it so much. So what is this pen? This is the Monte Grappa Elmo in Marshmallow. And I saw this first on my friend Sarah, mentioning her a lot. So I need to make sure that she knows that she's so loved by me right now. When I saw it on her YouTube channel. And this was a super expensive pen. I never thought I would even be able to purchase that. But then I started selling some pens and the funds added up quite quickly. And when I saw that I was pretty close to being able to purchase this pen, I just checked my collection, my pen case, and was looking for pens that I would be able to sell, that wouldn't hurt to sell, because I wanted this more. And that's exactly what I did. I purchased it from selling all the pens that I had put up for sale that didn't work for me. And then I purchased this instead. And this is such a lovely pen. So this is regular resin that is called Marshmallow, but there is an insert, metal insert here, which makes this pen heavy and feels so good in the hand that, yeah, you have to trust me on this if you don't have an Elmo, that this just feels so much better actually than an Esterbrook SD. So if you have an Esterbrook SD, they are very similar in size and girth, but the only thing that's missing with the Esterbrook is that there is no back weight, so it's much lighter than this. However, the Esterbrook SD then has the inner cap that keeps your pen from drying out, which is something that I noticed with the Monte Grappa Elmo, is that when I don't use it very regularly, it will write. That's not an issue, but the ink color will be much darker. So I'm going to write Apatite, and then I'll tell you the story about the audiobook that I'm listening to. I'm wondering how I want to do this now. Okay, let's do... And so when I'm listening to audiobooks, I feel like I do then sometimes get a really fuzzy brain. And when I get home from work with still so fully immersed in the story, it's really hard to think about something else. And that's exactly the state that I'm in right now. And that's why I'm lacking so many words. I'm going to do a little e, lowercase I, so I can, E is the German pronunciation for the letter I, Apatite. So just because I really want that teeny tiny bubble up there. So, and then, wow, that's not something that I like. The book that I'm listening to, I just started today, and it's not very long. I'm wondering if you have read Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. And if you haven't, then I'm wondering what you're waiting for. Because, or especially if you're a person who loves making coffee, who loves making lattes. Now I'm missing my brush pen right here, or water brush, whatever. There's many different words for this. It is the way he describes in the book the act of making latte, making coffee. I could smell and taste the coffee on my tongue. It's I don't even know what that is called, a fantasy fantasy romance, but I'm almost 89% in. There is no closed door, no open door. Maybe it's not even a romance, but it's a love story. But it's so much more. It's so fun. And he also has a second book out in that, I don't know if it's a series, duology, whatever it is. Interestingly enough, I did not get into the book. I tried to read it when I had it from the library, and I actually bought the book. I wanted to give it to my daughter and send it to her. And I wanted to read it first, but I just couldn't because I couldn't open them. I couldn't read in a healthy way with my back pain. And so I just put a hold on the book through Libby from my library, and it became available like 2 days ago. I don't even know how many hours it is, but I think I'm 1 hour and 50 minutes away from the end. And it's such a cute story. There is various different forms of people. There's humans as well. That is correct. Oh, I usually write the name of the pen. See, I got caught up chatting. Montegrappa. So here is my recommendation. If you're in for a treat, a light book, but still fun. It's basically about friendship, accepting help from others. It's just lovely, lovely. And then marshmallow. And it is a medium nib. So I can totally and highly recommend it. I did not get into the book. I did not get beyond chapter 1 when I was reading it on paper. And the same thing actually happened to me this morning. I started the book this morning when I left for work. I listened to it in the car, and I re-listened basically to the first chapter, and I thought, I don't know if I like this. And then the second chapter started, and that's when it started to become interesting. So hold out a tiny bit before you say it's not for you. But I can highly recommend it, and I hope you check it out. Alrighty. Pelikan, Edelstein, Apatite, Montegrappa. This is German. And I heard someone, oh yes, Trevor Noah tried to do a German accent, and so I decided maybe I should do all of my videos now in German accent, and you need to tell me whether that is something that you would like to hear or rather not. Okay, Montegrappa Elmo Marshmallow Medium. That is the pen from this month. May, I wanted to say one thing. I had the assumption that when I use my water brush, this paper might hold on to the ink, and it's really hard to get it to activate it from the edges. That was not the case with Bleu de Profondeur. This was the first one where the blue just was easily activated, and I just really enjoyed that. But you saw it, I had a hard time activating the Apatite as well. So maybe it's part paper, part ink. I don't know. And I do not like this orange behind, but it's fine. I can live with it. Alrighty. See you tomorrow. No, it is Saturday, and I am taking Sunday, December 31st off. The next video will be out on Monday, January 1st. And then I'll do July, August, September, and all the way through Saturday. And December will be the last one with a little teeny tiny recap. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Can you see how the halo effect here is happening? There's some yellow. No, you cannot. I can. It's much greener on my end than it is on the screen, at least the one that I'm seeing right now. Alrighty. See you tomorrow. No, not see you tomorrow. See you on the Monday, New Year's Day. And I'm feeling really bad. Copying a German accent, or even though I'm German, it doesn't matter. Goodbye, goodbye.